my lovely people, it's your boy and I'm back with another one. Today's video is gonna be a little bit longer than usual. It's an interview that I did with a young lady from another YouTube channel called Chit Chat TV All Talk, and she goes over a lot of information as it pertains to where we're going with this YouTube channel and what we have in store for you, my loyal subscribers. So I don't want you missing out on any of the information, so make sure you stay tuned to the end. So see you over on the other side of this intro.
Oh my gosh, here we go. Let me back up a little bit. Guys, we have a visiting guest here on Chit Chat TV today. Before we add it, let's play our intro. Good morning to everybody.
Morning.
Okay, good morning, everybody.
Oh, boy.
This is your girl Eddie, and it is Chit Chat TV. Our conversation. You don't have me on Chit Chat TV _ on the ground. What are you waiting on? Follow me, and I promise I'll follow back. And while you at it, hit the link in the bio. Yes.
That's what's up.
Yes. Good morning, Adrian Brown. I am super excited to have you with us here on Chit Chat TV today. How are you doing? Good morning.
Top of the morning to you. Everything is so awesome. I must say I'm a big supporter of your channel, as you can see. I don't drink coffee, but I'm drinking some cocoa. So I got my
Listen
Chit Chat
now,
TV.
right.
Yes,
That is what you consider support. Oh my God.
Not to mention,
Adrian, I really am excited this morning.
I got my Chit Chat
Ooh,
TV
Jesus.
right here.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Is that a Chit Chat TV t-shirt?
Hey, that's how we roll. You know, I'm a big supporter, yeah. From day one, from the get-go. Come on.
This is true support, okay? And this morning I am excited to, talk with you because you've been one of those examples of a young man that has came from a little man, young man that has, a father, a husband, a young man that has came up, and I've always tried to ensure you take care of your family. So today we're going to talk about some of the things that you actually do in Jamaica. Adrian, tell the people where you're from, fully who you are, as a Jamaican, because a lot of people that's going to be watching this video today are Jamaican.
Okay. So I must say, I'm a regular Jamaican, just like anybody else. Grown up in the countryside, running, playing soccer and stuff like that. No major degrees, and started more in the hospitality industry. Give me 1 second. My son has got to be popping in and out, so sorry for the distraction.
It's okay. It's all right. You're a father. You are a father. Supporters.
Give me 5 minutes and I'll show you. Here.
Follow me on Chit Chat TV _ on the ground.
All right, I'm back.
All right. Clearly, guys, you can see that he's a father, and being a businessman, being a husband, being a father, the work doesn't stop. Okay, so over here at Chit Chat TV, we are willing, okay, to let children be seen that this is real life. So tell the people, keep telling them about where you're from, why you started deciding that you wanted to, even have a business. And before you say that, for those who don't know, this is from nothing to something.
Yes, ma'am.
On YouTube, okay? NUTTIN. Nothing Jamaican style to something Jamaican style.
Yes, right. I actually have a YouTube channel, like you just mentioned. It's called Nothing to Something. And so back up. So I started in the hospitality industry. So I wasn't always a business-minded person. I kind of just wanted to do a 9 to 5, just like most people. After being in the tourist industry, I transitioned from a hotel into a villa setting. where it was more personalized. And that's when I started developing this attitude like, if I'm doing this for somebody, I can do this for myself. So that's when the whole transition started about me wanting to just do something for myself, you know. So I started a YouTube channel and it's called Nothing to Something, as you were mentioning. And that old channel actually came from me purchasing a piece of land with a whole house on there, and I wanted to tear it down. And a guy said to me, why not just build on this house? And after seeing where that old house transitioned and came to something, that's where all this inspiration comes from. And I just like, that was nothing. And then we're now at something.
Right. So let me ask you, Adrian. With you being transitioning from the hotel setting to the villa setting, what was the difference in mindset for you? Because you've been in a hotel, you pretty much do certain things, but when you go to a villa, what's the difference and what changed that made you wanna be a businessman?
Okay, so in a hotel, it's a bigger setting, whereas you depend on the kitchen staff to give you the food, and you can always shove off some things to the side. So it wasn't, even though you were the one, say, as a butler, giving the guests the food, you could say, oh, the food is cold or whatnot, because the kitchen staff was not doing what they're supposed to do. In a villa setting, it was not so, because it was just one set of staff that works at the villa. So we were also involved in the whole preparation of the food, handling of the food, to the execution of the food. So it was more personalized. So we had to take full responsibility for anything that went down, from ordering of stuff to make sure we have enough stuff for the guests. In the hotel, you could say, oh, the chef didn't do this, or in the villa, it was not so.
Right.
So it was more accountability. Yeah. So that's what changed.
Okay, so now, with this newfound accountability, that kind of propelled you into your own mindset of business. Like, no, since I'm responsible, since I'm accountable, I can do this for myself, for real.
Exactly. So that's where it all started.
Okay, so,
Go ahead.
Perfect. Tell the people about you initially taking that first step to buy a land. And before you do that, I already mentioned that you're a father, you're a husband, and you're a businessman, an entrepreneur, okay? But when you went to buy a land, what was the conversation you had with, your wife, knowing that your wife supports you and you guys are in this together? What was the conversation you had with your wife, knowing that you are, working in a villa, getting out of a villa, I want my own thing? What was the conversation like?
So my wife is always supportive. That much I can tell you. I'm kind of the person that I can be pulled in 5 different directions and not be flustered. My wife is more like she wants to be focusing on one particular thing, and that's just it. So she's the kind of person, she would get tired watching you playing soccer, moving that, and I personally, I don't get tired from doing it, because this is something that I enjoy doing. But she always gives me her support, and when we were purchasing the land, it was always a joy for her also. She's like, okay, now we can really have something for ourselves that we can actually call our own. Again, wanting to actually build house on the land that would be considered not like a dream home, but more like an investment property. That was something that came afterwards, so we were talking, and then we migrated to the United States, which I'm now living. So I'm like, other than having the house being locked up when we're not there, and we could be making something from it. So she was really, and she still is excited about that. The house is not complete right now, but we're in the process of getting all of everything together, basically. Yeah. So she's
so let's dig a little deeper about this. Now, you have your wife who is super excited, about doing business with her husband. And you are more enduring in activities, because a lot of times people say man stronger than woman. So she wants to focus on this one property. When you guys decided to get the property, did you guys have to go through any housing and financing from Jamaican government or Jamaican society? Because every in America it's different. When you buy a house and you say you're gonna build, you can't just build a house. But the economy in Jamaica is a little different. So what was some of the drawbacks or maybe some of the challenges you faced in the process of buying this land?
Okay, so that's a good question, and I'm so happy that you asked that question because it brought me into a shift of a mindset because the mindset I actually went into this with was, it was like buying a land and just doing that. When I actually started the process, then you started finding out the little underlying small details of what you need to pay for. You know what I mean? So we did get the land financed through Housing Trust in Jamaica. Because like I said, we are just regular people, so we don't have that bank of money,
That bank, that money.
Yeah, as much as I would love to,
guys,
we
it's a
don't have that
process.
big bank.
You guys gotta think about it. Supporters that are watching right now, thank you. This is Chit Chat TV. For all those who don't know, and we're interviewing from Nothing to Something on YouTube. If you guys don't know who we are, you can go on over to YouTube and follow my brother here, Nothing to Something, being able to prove how being a young man, you transition in even another country, that you're still able to have a successful business. And even with that support, taking accountability, learning from regular jobs, we are at this moment ready for a new move in his life. Okay, so this is my brother Adrian Brown, guys, expressing to you guys a little bit about the business that he's venturing on to. So right now, Adrian, with all these little challenges, did you feel like you were going to get as far as you have got in your project, or did it take a little while to clear up?
It definitely took a little while. Because entering into it with not the knowledge of what and how to do. But I must say, thanks to God, He put some people in my life to actually steer me in the right direction. You know what I mean? So just getting the whole financing process going, at one point, we didn't even know that we were going to get the land. Yeah, because we start the whole process and then we migrated to the US and then our status changed and then the housing trust whole thing. It was complicated, but eventually God worked it out and we got it. So fast forward, wanting to get the house built, it was another mindset that I was growing up with. You know, we always want to know any links that you can get to get this sorted out and so forth. And I realized that having that mindset to try to get links to do everything is something that actually sets you back. So I had to change that entire mindset and actually go through.
Tell people, because some men don't know what you mean when you say having a mindset to want to get linked up, or links we say in Jamaica. Sometimes we get links, we open that the job will be cheaper, guys, for all those who might not understand. Some people get links because, they think, all right, my brother worked with this person, my sister worked, let me see what they can do for me. So explain to people why you say it's not always a good thing.
Okay, so that's a good question too, Hank. So the whole thing is, I realize now that getting links sometimes definitely it slows down the process and it even costs more because you want to know a little side man around there where you can slip off a little thing to the side and he do a little thing for you. You know what I mean? And sometimes, like I said, it slows down the process because you're trying to wait to find somebody who knows somebody, and it doesn't always work, And I wanted that when I was supposed, because you have to get a drawing for the house, basically the plan. So when I was supposed to get an architect, I kind of thought, and I was wondering, who do I know that does drawing? And one of the things is, it's not who you know, it's who's qualified for the job, And I figured, awesome. I figured that out early in the process so it didn't cost me more, because sometimes you find persons that you know, but they're not qualified, so it gives you a bigger runaround. So I knew a guy and I wanted to have him do the drawing. But when I figured out he wasn't asking me the questions to make me feel like he knew what he was about. So I reached out to another friend of mine, and he hooked me up with this guy, and his company is called Realistic Home Designs Ltd, and that guy was awesome. He saved me money.
You know what? I'm so excited that you met a good person who can write a plan for you professionally. But let me give the people a little bit. For those who are not Jamaican and you didn't grow up in the Jamaican culture, you might not understand that a lot of people have skills that they are not necessarily I can't say qualified, because some are qualified because they have done it and they have learned on their own. But on paper, you got to be qualified as well.
Certified.
And when you're not, there's things that you miss when you don't go to school that is important. That and it needs to be included in your craft, right? And some of these men, they can go and they can build the most amazing house, but they can't read a plan. For example, another person can go, they can sing so beautiful, but they cannot read music. These things are important even with business.
That's
so, Adrian, let me
exactly.
ask you, with you getting hooked up with this new contractor or person that's going to design your house, how old is this person, and what made you feel that he was qualified enough to be a part of your business?
Okay, so I must say, all this was done in my absence because I was overseas at the time. So when I hooked up with my friend and he gave me this guy's number, the first thing that got my attention, I called the guy up. I said, hey, I'm so and so. I would like to have a plan drawn. Before anything about money or what kind of house and all this excitement, the first thing he asked me was, do you have a title for the property? And I'm like, yeah. The next question was, do you have a survey report? And I'm like, yes, I do. Because those are the essential. And if you don't have those, it doesn't even make sense you start doing a drawing, because you need all that. The property tax need to be paid up. No money need to be owed on the land. Otherwise, they can't submit the plan to the parish council. So he went through all of that before he even said what kind of house you wanted me to draw now. And that gave me a sense of this guy knows what he's doing.
So legally, he ensured that you had your legal documentation together. Because a lot of times, Jamaican culture, even though people do these things naturally, they make money. A lot of people doesn't necessarily have the money that they wish to have from, the PM or the work system will be able to survive. So money is a big thing for Jamaican people, whether you qualified or not. But for somebody to come around and say, hey, money is not essential in this, but having the proper legality to your business is what's essential in this. And oftentimes in the culture of Jamaica, we don't get highlighted for the young men or young women out there that are actually doing things legally, because we're so used to all this scamming and we're so used to all this miscellaneous things that people do and call it, work. However, survival is a must for men, right? So now you have somebody working. He asked you to submit all these papers, ensuring that you had your foot on the proper platform. What was the next step for you after that?
Okay, so he then went ahead. I don't know, he got this system, because this is what this guy does. He said, give me the land number. There's a file number on the title. He said, give me this number. And I gave him the number, and he actually pulled up my exact spot of land and took a screenshot, sent it to me. He's like, okay, this is the location. I can see. He's like, there's a old building on the property. I'm like, this guy is good. Yeah, so we kicked it off from there, and he actually had to go to check out the property in regards to him drawing the plan, knowing the land slope and all that good stuff. And I wanted to build a 3-bedroom house at the time. And I'm like, yo, this is what I want. And he sat me down, basically on the phone, all that. And he's like, this is what it's going to cost you. And he gave me quantities of what the amount of material and the money and workmanship. And he's like, trust me, even if you get somebody to build the house totally free, material and fixtures for the plumbing and the electricity and all that. This is what you're gonna spend. And when he showed me that figure, I'm like, I don't got that money. So that's when he said to me, you have an old building on the property. Why don't I just do something for you where you can build on that house, basically? And I'm like, okay, go ahead and do it. And he sent me a copy of what he was thinking about, and we kicked it off from there. And trust me,
You know what? There's something about it when a professional lays out a professional plan for you. You can see numbers, guys. For those who build houses in Jamaica, you already know that sometimes you just want to build a house, you don't think about no drawings, you don't think about nothing, you just go buy 50 blocks and you start up. When we're talking about having a business that have leverage with it, you have a business that have insurance or a business that have protection. We don't want to just put together any old thing. All right. When we go into business, we have to try our best to make it proper. So now this guy, he's a proper, what would you call him?
Architect.
He's an architect. Is he an architect?
Yeah. He's an architect. Yes.
Okay, so he's a proper architect that actually is qualified and does this for a job. Now, you said you do live in Alabama. So with you communicating with him back and forth, what was it like for you? And were there any moments of frustration or maybe mistrust in the moment?
No. Like I told you, this guy, he was right out the door, kicking and running. For the house, this was the easiest part, I would say. He could tell me everything, from what it would cost me for him to draw the plan, and based on the size of the house and the square footage and all that, what it would cost to get the plan approved by the parish council, because he knows the rate of which parish council charges for the approval based on square footage. So it was a seamless transition, and I mean seamless. He told me, like he was saying, it would probably cost, just for example, 28,000 to get this plan passed, and when it went in, it was 27,200. So he was like right there. So
it's very exciting to work with business people that are on top of their game and know what they're doing. But I want you to explain to people now exactly what type of business from nothing to something is about, and what is your goal for this business? What is your plan? Because you based your business in Jamaica and you're no longer there. Some people would say, why do you want to have a business in Jamaica? You're no longer there. Why would you do this? So tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, so like you said, my YouTube channel, Nothing to Something, and it came from this building that developed from nothing, basically. In my YouTube channel, that's what I focus on right now. I just started, so the videos are showing the transition from that old building to what it is now. And where the business comes in, it's in the process that we want to make, from my experiences in the hotel industry, villa setting and all that, I would want to do something with that building, like a short-term rental. Most people would say Airbnb. But I want to transition my YouTube channel into the whole experience of what the house, from where it developed from to where it gets to, and to having guests staying at the house and their experiences and all that. I've already been seeking out partnership with like persons that I know that runs a rafting company, that my guests would also have access to the rafting, whether it be by me partnering with the guys and they have that access to go do rafting in the package of booking with me and along with other stuff. Like I said, we're still in the process of just walking or talking through what we intend to do, but I intend to give a whole experience where you can have a little bit of the tourists and a little bit of the Jamaica, real Jamaica, you know what I mean? So that's what I intend to do, where people get a rounded feel of what Jamaica is really like. So they don't miss out on the tourist aspect of it, and they still doesn't miss out on the real Jamaican, authentic food and stuff like that. So that's what I intend to do.
But I think your plan for your future guests is bright, because I'm sitting here watching like, okay, can I get up in that Airbnb because I want to go rafting too. So I think it's a great idea. And I also think you have a great name, from nothing to something, and Jamaican people will understand what that clearly means, because most of us have come from nothing to something, and in our culture, many are still transitioning right now from nothing to something. But it is great to see another young man doing things the proper way. And when I say proper way, in Jamaica culture, sometimes you can get people coming trying to take from you what is not theirs and make it your own. So when you have something, and you went about it the right way, I feel like it is very commendable, and you can be a very good example for others that, they feel like maybe I want to do a business, but I never had an opportunity. But now you can teach them. Now you can hook them up with the proper architect. You can hook them up with the proper people to show them, yo, do it the right way. So let me ask you, how far are you in this process in the building?
Okay, so the building is actually almost completed. I'm just now waiting to get the electricity aspect of it passed. So I got my own electricity. And so the only thing that would be left is the actual furnishing of the place. So like I was saying, I want the place to have this tourist hotel feel. So it's a matter of getting some real nice furniture that persons can feel home, away from home, and also feel the ambience of this Jamaican feel. So that's where we're at right now. But it's coming along awesome.
I'm super excited, to really, hear the excitement in you. Because to me, when people come to Jamaica, they always look for the most luxurious, moments or enjoyable moments. So, but in a time like now, people are also concerned about safety. What are some of the safety measures, from nothing to something, that you will provide for your visiting guests? What are some of the, thoughts of how security will be and how secure these people will be when they decide, I'm coming from my country to come visit this wonderful house. I want to be there, but I don't know. I hear so much about Jamaica. What do you have to tell them about that?
Okay, so first thing with safety is gonna be in a safe community. That's the first thing right there. And we're gonna have cameras put in place and also security for safety. So it's a relatively decent area, and people are more welcoming to outsiders. So guarantee safety wouldn't be an issue. Right next to my property, there is another big establishment there that's always 24 hours security also. So it's not just like shoved to the side somewhere in a little corner down in some place, It's right on the front. So awesome, easy to get to, whether you want to take a taxi or you can just walk out your house, get down on the road, get a taxi. Or I also I'm going to include transportation to and from the airport. So that would just be optional if you want to take a taxi. Yeah. So that's where I'm going with this.
So you have a lot of good plans for the future for your business. And I think that it is great to have a plan. And I encourage all my young men out there, you don't have to be, older to have a business. And I'm glad that you considered safety for your visitors, because in a time like now, people want to make sure that they're comfortable. But also I encourage people that are buying property, buying land, and you have a business plan in mind, try to ensure that you're wise about the properties you buy and where you buy them.
Definitely.
Okay,
Definitely.
because that is very important, whether you think it is or not. You don't want to ever become a target for anyone in Jamaica or anywhere else for that matter. Because it's not just Jamaica that people target people. When sometimes people see you're doing well, you have others that decide, hey, I want to do well like you, but I don't want to work for it. I just want to come and take what's yours, So I think that safety is number one. So right now, Adrian, right now, being a father, is it hard to be doing this business and still being a father, still being a husband? Is it hard?
I would say it has its days. Like you see, I'm still here on the chat. He's asking me for stuff. You know, I mean, when I'm in my workspace, sometimes he respects that, but sometimes he's like, it's all about me. I need me now. You know what I mean? But to be dragged in 5 different places, it has its time when it's like overwhelming. But like I said, it's something that I intend to do because I have the mindset of just putting the work in right now to reap the benefit later. You know what I mean? So that's a mindset I have. So I'm like, I keep pushing. And my wife, I have to find the time to be a husband too, you know, because some of the times when I can like do a video shoot, and I must say, since I started my YouTube channel, I grew a respect for content creators, and it's awesome. I'll be in the middle of a video, and my son start doing crazy stuff, and I have to be like, I have to cancel this one, delete it, throw it away, start all over again. But it's a process, and I'm enjoying it through the process. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's me growing from step to step, and it's something that I really want to do. So it's not a big deal.
So for my viewers today, guys, I really appreciate everybody that's been tuning in here with Nothing is Something. It's your girl, Anika. Once again, it's Chit Chat TV where we have those hard conversations. And if you don't have us on YouTube, remember when you get there, hit that bell on the right corner and hit the all selection as well. So every time from Nothing to Something, drop something, or Chit Chat TV, drop something, you guys can see it. So we got Adrian Brown here on the line telling us his transition of having a regular job in Jamaica to a better job and learning to take accountability, and also in the midst of that transitioning to another country and still wanting to pursue a successful business in Jamaica. And now Adrian has a plan that he has just explained, that hooking up with the correct people, you know, and actually regardless of the difficulties and the trials that may come your way, doing it right the first time and not cutting corners is very important.
Exactly, exactly.
So Adrian, I want to encourage you to keep going, and we will be looking for more transitions and changes on this property, and we're looking for more updates when it's completely furnished and finished.
Awesome, awesome. I would just like to add, because a friend of mine was bringing it to my attention, that based on the of my YouTube channel, it's actually hard to find. Basically because I had to spell it in Patois, that's Jamaican language. Because when I initially wanted the name Nothing to Something with the correct spelling, somebody already took that name. So I had to get creative, and I'm like, I feel passionate about this name, so I want this name. So that's how I changed up the spelling. So the spelling is Nutting. That's nothing, and then the number 2, and the something is spelled Sumting. That's it. So if you're trying to find me, that's how you need to spell it. That's how you need to put it in. Yeah, man.
We will ensure to put it on there even when we post this video, because when I went to find the video myself or your YouTube channel, it was hard because I automatically was thinking nothing. I didn't think you was gonna put nothing the Jamaican way, you know. It is very exciting, and I think that, you know, even though it's hard for people to maybe, you know, find it, they will find it now, because now that you're promoting it, you can let them know clearly that it's the spelling is completely different, but that does make you a little unique. So Adrian, I want to really thank you for coming on Chita TV and sharing, and we would love to have you back on when you have made a full, you know, burst out with the house. I hope you having some kind of celebration about it.
Definitely.
I'm excited.
Like I was saying, I left this part out because I was so excited with you asking me all the questions. So my thing is, I intend to involve my subscribers. So I'm gonna put something out there, like if my subscriber is the one who refers somebody to me, they can get a night's money back. Like if I get a 7-night rental, I am willing to give my subscribers that does give me a referral, I would say, actually a night's money. You know what I mean? So just to make things easier, say it's $1,000 a night, just to rent something out there, and I get 7 nights, I would give a referral fee of $1,000 after booking a 7-night rental. So I want to ensure that
that's a little perk.
that's a perk. So for my subscribers, that's why I'm gonna throw it in there. So if you refer somebody to me, you get something back. Yeah. So that's where I'm wanting to go with it.
That's a great way to have people interact with you and know that you're not a selfish entrepreneur or businessman, that you're willing to work with people. And I think because you learned that through working in the industry, in the villa, you learn what working with people is like, especially in a more intimate setting, especially when it's your business. Now you want your business to be tasteful. When people come around, they want to know that, wow, I can get a ride on the the river and get a extra night here, or I can get this, I can get that. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, because I'm so strong, and like I said, this all developed from starting in the villa. My mindset has shifted that no matter what job, because regardless of how much everybody wants to run a business, be their own boss, it won't be like that. Somebody has to work for somebody. But I strongly believe if you get into a job, you learn the system and try to see if you could incorporate that in your own life, and then you probably transition to doing your own thing. So it's a matter of get in, educate yourself about the things that you're doing for somebody, and then you vacate with your knowledge of what you know, grasp from that actual job, so you can execute it for yourself. And that's exactly what I do. In the villa setting, I was booking tours and setting up candlelight dinners and all that. And what these big business does, they partner with all these different tour companies and so forth, and that's how they actually get commission and all that from every tour that's booked. They make something just the same, so I'm like, why can't I do that for my subscriber? You guarantee me a booking, a friend, a family member, somebody you know, and you refer them to me, I can give you something back, no problem. You know what I mean? So each one teach one.
I think something like that is good.
Yeah, so you scratch my back, I scratch yours. That's just as simple as it is. Yes.
I think it's super exciting. But let me tell you, I know what you're doing will be a consistent, growth, and it will be more information for people to want to know. So guys, remember, go on over to Nothing to Something, okay? NUTT, all right?
Yes.
TT, not TH, okay, guys? And follow him on YouTube. But I want to bring you back on the Chit Chat TV to tell the people a little bit when you're finishing up with that house, and do you plan on an extension? But let's see how business goes first.
Yes, definitely.
Adrian,
Yeah,
I really appreciate you. I really do.
I really appreciate it.
Remember to share the video, like the video. If you don't have us, go on over to our YouTube channel. But I want to thank you for joining me. It's your girl, Anika.
Hopefully you guys made it this far in the interview. I think it was a really great interview. I really enjoyed it. I think it shed a lot of light on what we are about over on this channel. It also let you guys be aware that there's potential earning abilities coming in the near future just because you're a supporter of this channel. I'll also like to take this time out to say a big thank you in advance to all my supporters from here on out going forward. And if you guys have not yet subscribed to the channel, feel free to just subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and also share the video. Feel free to also go on over to my girl's channel. It's called Chit Chat TV, and just let her know you got her info from Nothing to Something. I would like to say thank you for staying here with us, and hopefully you got some information. Big up on yourself, and catch you in the next video. Yeah, man.